Welcome to the Kentucky X-Files, Season 2, with your hosts Dennis Mays, Tyler Stewart, and Josh Gibbs. Don't forget to subscribe to us on YouTube, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts, so you never miss an episode. Now, on to our show.
Crouched down. For me, at first, I thought it was just a footage thing.
I thought it was a bear. You can tell the difference between like a small, spindly leg creature and something with a larger foot. And it was big, whatever it was. It ran straight down at us and it just stopped. And it was pitch black. Couldn't see it.
And most of these witnesses that have come close to these things could have been killed.
It was beating on the side of the house. I didn't get the side of the house as it went by.
Now, when it stood up, that's when I knew it was a gone man.
Right, like I needed someone to have pure faith in a higher power at that moment, and nobody fucking did.
Welcome back, guys, to the Kentucky X-Files.
I thought he was going to beat me to it.
I was gonna let you get it.
I feel like that was lackluster now.
It was.
Happy birthday
To you.
to you.
Happy
Doing
birthday.
what was it, Marilyn Monroe?
Yeah.
To
Yep.
you.
I look better in the white dress.
Mr. President.
Mr. Tyler didn't.
Tyler did.
So, if you guys out there listening, which I'm sorry, it is Tyler's birthday, and we got him a very potent alcoholic beverage. And
Well-
he's into it. He's into this beverage pretty far, actually, and
Yeah.
he's still upright. We're watching
Well,
him.
we're recording this Friday, and I don't know. Yeah, we're ahead in the episode, so this is
Yeah,
so
they'll get this in like a couple weeks.
they'll get this couple weeks. But yeah,
Yeah.
my birthday was this past
Today.
today.
Don't try time travel
Man,
right
I
now.
tell you what, today has been one hell of a week.
Yeah, right. So yeah,
Wish Tyler some happy birthday love, guys.
yeah. Happy birthday, Tyler, in the comments.
Yeah.
Love it. Comments have been blown up.
God, it's like paint thinner.
It'd be like 2 weeks ago episode by now. The lights in the sky.
Yeah.
So they haven't quite gotten to this upcoming episode, which should have been fairly heavy. Which I feel like is incomplete, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I
The
feel
recent
like
one. I don't want to give any spoilers or anything, but
No, there definitely needs to be a part 2 to that.
I really do want to talk to him again. And you guys
Yeah.
probably just got to hear that one, I guess. Yeah. So
And
Yeah,
welcome.
you wouldn't have given them spoilers. They should have listened to it.
this is getting confusing. The farther ahead we are, the more confused we're going to be.
Right. Exactly.
This is backfired.
And like this is going to be coming out later, but like, hey, like all you new people listening, welcome.
Yeah, absolutely.
Welcome to the campfire. Good Lord, we have been
Yeah.
blowing up on YouTube out of nowhere.
Yep. My wife did the thing on TikTok, and it went viral, and we got all these new folks that are coming over and checking us out. It's really cool. Subscribers going up.
Our freaking our YouTube is like.
Not only are we blowing up for just on the YouTube side, but we're actually getting more views than we have subs, which is a first.
Oh yeah, it's awesome. Which means that there's a lot of lurkers, so you guys make sure you're hitting that subscribe button, you rascals.
It helps us. Trust us.
Yep.
You can hit the bell, but I'm just going to tell you, we post every Monday.
I don't believe the bell is a real thing.
Like everybody
It's a
keeps saying,
cryptid.
like, post, like, hit the bell so you
Bellfoot.
don't miss any of our
It's Bellfoot. It's the
any of our
bellman.
content.
It's the
But
bellman.
we post every Monday, so
You gotta look.
just
for it,
come on
turns
Mondays,
into a
man.
bush.
Yeah. The dog bell.
The dog bell.
Yeah. You know,
Let's could we change it to a triangle? Hit the triangle.
That'd be pretty cool.
Little ting.
yeah.
Because I don't want a bell.
Can we put a china up there?
A China. Okay. Just doing fucking noises now.
About to be in a mosh pit, or did
Yeah.
KYX Files post something?
So you said you had a special one for Tyler's
I do.
birthday.
This thing has been sitting in a holster
God,
for
I think I
2
know what it
weeks
is,
now.
but I'm not sure.
for 2 weeks now. I mean, it's not gonna be a whole episode on this. It's
It's
y'all.
just-
This is some weird stuff going on out there,
Yeah.
and this is like documented university weird stuff. And just so happens that I've had it, sit in the holster and it's ready to clear leather. So, Tyler, in honor of your birthday,
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about.
I present to you zombie necrobotic spiders.
Tyler is holding up the middle finger for all of you guys that can't see this.
But he did it on his own.
I know.
They can do that with spiders that are dead now.
Yeah, zombie spiders.
Yeah, necrobotic spiders.
This is some straight up like reanimator shit.
This is the real deal.
Yeah.
And there are videos of it working. It's
Ugh.
documented. Rice University, for whatever reason, deemed it necessary to take spider corpses and use pneumatic over hydraulic setup, basically. And they can use a little puff of air and control the legs of a dead spider. And they can lower it down into things and use the spider legs to grab something and pick it back up. And it is absolutely just, I'm not scared of spiders. They don't bother me in the least. But I know you saw the video, Denny.
Yeah.
It is absolutely disturbing. See, I saved you from the video. I didn't send it to the group chat. I sent it straight to Denny.
Okay, so I got to tell you, when I first looked at it,
Yeah.
I was in the middle. Okay, this is literally like the weirdest combination. Okay,
Okay.
but my brain put this together. I was looking into CRISPR. Are you guys familiar?
I'm not, no.
Okay, CRISPR is going on right now, right across the river at the big hospital. You know the one. It's literally DNA manipulation. They are manipulating the cells in people. So I'm sitting there like, okay, how far away are these guys with the zombie spiders from the CRISPR lab? Like, they're not near each other, right? Because
Right.
I can just see it's not just going to be a zombie apocalypse. It's going to be a gigantic zombie spider apocalypse. I don't know why they're gigantic all of a sudden, but this is the way my brain just works,
I mean, yeah,
you know?
that's fair.
But yeah, I was looking into that and I'm like, dude, this is nuts.
Well, thankfully, these guys, Rice University in Texas, of all places.
Okay, far away.
Like, you guys, if you're from Texas and you're listening, first off, say something in the comments.
Yeah.
But do you guys really need zombie robotic spiders in Texas? Don't you guys have enough shit down there that's just
I
messed
feel
up?
like fucking Texans are crazy as fuck anyway, so they're going to be like,
Right.
fuck yeah, bring them
See,
on.
when I think of Texas, I think of like the Wild West part of Texas.
That's what I'm saying.
And it's more like, it's kind of like our own tiny Australia.
Yeah.
Well, there's so much stuff down there that just wants to kill you.
Yeah.
You know,
That's what I mean.
scorpions,
They're like, fuck it.
rattlesnakes, spiders. It's all there.
Yeah.
We don't need any of that stuff to be dead zombie
Yeah.
brought back to life using hydraulic systems to make them work. And it's not even hydraulics. They literally take a needle. And they did it on the first shot. This is the craziest thing. Did you watch the whole video?
I did.
The scientists said that they literally just said, well, we think this is where it'll work. And they take a needle and they stick it into the spider corpse.
Yeah.
And they use a little puff of air. And they were able to make a leg flick. So now they know where to put all the little needles and puff the air in there. And it makes all the legs do whatever they want. Right?
You guys out there noticing the like silence There's the silence is deafening coming from Tyler's end of the table.
Yeah, that is the loudest quiet I've ever heard in my life.
He's sitting there. I can narrate his thoughts right now. It's literally, I fucking don't like this. I don't like anything about this.
Right. So it just, it was just the perfect day for this one to be an episode. I'm sorry, buddy. I did save you from the video. And the video,
did.
I don't mind spiders. I'll pick a spider up. They don't scare me. The video creeped me out. And when it creeped me out, I was like, I'm sending it to Denny, but I'm not going to give it to Tyler.
Yeah, he literally was like, I'm not sending this to Tyler.
I guess my wish didn't come true.
What was your birthday wish? All spiders to be gone?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, technically they are gone. The ones they're using are dead.
That is true. So maybe you did get your wish. It just backfired. Uh-oh. Are we losing him? About to hear the biggest fucking rip on Mike.
Oh, no, not that. I feel like I chugged that last bit too fast.
I'm going to wash it down with a Yingling.
Sure.
I thought you were about to shit yourself.
No, not that.
This would be a short episode. Be like, all right, see you guys next week. So, all zombie spiders aside, I've been researching a topic which I found fucking incredible.
All right.
We are in an age where more and more cryptids are being accepted. And some cryptids, this is going to be a minority, are actually becoming non-cryptid. Where they're starting to wander into the realm of discovery, right? Okay, so there's one cryptid in particular. You guys ever heard of a billy ape?
No.
No? Okay. This has been a cryptid for decades, right? They are called the lion killer ape. Right? Still not ringing a bell? This is really obscure, okay? I had to do a lot of digging, but I found it. All right, so okay, let me bring this up and I'll tell you guys a little backstory here. This is pretty fucking cool. All right, so in the Congo, you guys know all about the Congo, right?
Oh, yeah. I read the book in high school.
Okay, so the Congo is dense as all hell.
Yeah.
All right, so 1 second, I'm going to kill that. All right. Okay, so billy apes. They also call them Bondo mystery apes, right?
I'm going to have to look this up so I can see what the hell it is.
Okay, you've probably seen pictures because some people in the like Bigfoot communities use these pictures as examples, right? All right. So one thing about these is that the DNA genome matches the basic like chimpanzee DNA, right? So they are literally like almost a dead-on match with a regular chimp, from what I understand. Okay. The difference is that these guys grow quite a bit bigger, right? 4 to 5 feet, and from what I understand, these guys are like straight up badasses. Like they go after big cats, they go after all kinds of shit. They're a bit violent. They've even been known to like go after people, right?
Okay. I think there's a picture here that I recognize.
Yeah.
And it's this one right here, the two tribesmen holding a dead one up.
Yeah, it's like quite a bit bigger than a...
Yeah, it's absolutely huge.
Yeah, they're a lot bigger than a normal chimp, right?
Right.
So the billy ape is, like I said, it's known there as the lion killer. So it's a big ass chimpanzee. This thing's ferocious as fuck. It comes out of trees, beats the shit out of cats, big cats, panthers and leopards and shit. No issues whatsoever. Like they'll literally go after a lion. And modern science denied that they even existed. Right? They're not real. It's a myth. It's a wives' tale, whatever. until pictures started coming. Tribesmen getting pictures of them, actually killing one, holding it up, you know. And then apparently some of these scientists were like, all right, well, let's go out and let's see for ourselves. They took them to them so they get to actually see the things. And I noticed, like I said, DNA-wise, it's almost a match for a regular chimp. There's nothing different. But they're bigger and stronger, faster, and definitely nastier. So then one of the tribesmen literally tells this dude who's like trying to get more information out of him about him that he walked up on one spearing a fish out of the water. Like literally spearing a fish. Fucking the scientific world is like, no way. That ain't happening. Well, turns out, yeah. There's a video of it.
Really?
Thing spears a fish right out of the water. So the billy ape, the lion killer, was a cryptid, slowly becoming a accepted animal.
There's an extinct creature that's becoming a cryptid too, isn't it? The Tasmanian tiger.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, it was a real thing, but it went extinct.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I'm slurring my words. Sorry. But there's still sightings to this day.
Right. That's why I say it was an extinct creature that's now becoming a cryptid.
Yeah.
Like, there's all kinds of people that are sighting them. There's even like real blurry photographs.
Right.
You know, so it's like the world is going topsy-turvy. Cryptids
Yeah,
are becoming real, and reals are becoming
And
cryptids.
the thing of it is, I don't know about you guys, but that fucking thing, it weirds me out. That Tasmanian devil, not devil, tiger.
Yeah.
It creeps me out because it's like a dog that's been stretched.
Yeah.
Or
It's a
something
dog
like
cat.
Yeah, it's like.
What is that other creature? It's out in like the Amazon. What is it? Tapir or something like that? That's
Yeah,
like
yeah,
got
yeah.
that
Tapirs.
They got the like black and white stripe to
Yeah.
them, and it's got that same kind of weird black and white spotty.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like it's wearing tribal paint.
Yeah.
You know.
It's interesting, man. I was actually went when I was looking for more about the lion killer ape, because I'm like, for one thing, dude, the lion killer ape is like a badass name.
I mean,
like that's awesome.
That is pretty.
I mean, silverback is pretty badass too, but lion killer, like, dude, that's like
That's top shelf.
nice nickname.
That is
silverback.
Remember when I? Okay, never mind. Sorry.
So like, I come across an interview with none other than the Dr. Jeff Meldrum.
Oh God, yes.
And I'm like,
I want that for my birthday.
what, you want what?
An interview with Meldrum.
An interview would be nice.
I don't think we should dig any further. I don't think we were on the same page on that
Could
one.
he adopt me?
We can ask.
I'll be
If I was him, I'd stay as far away from this podcast.
I'd be Tyler Meldrum.
Well, you heard it here first, guys. If you want to try to make that happen, hashtag Tyler Meldrum. Anyway, so Dr. Meldrum, like, he goes on this whole thing about it, you know, and it was so funny because I didn't realize at first that it was Joe Rogan that I was watching, where he was talking about it, and I was watching Joe Rogan try to, I guess, disarm his argument for Bigfoot. You know what I mean? Like, Meldrum was basically putting his points across, you know, or whatever. Finally, towards the end of the interview, Rogan backs off, and he said something that was pretty funny. He was like, it was something along the lines of like, it's just like, I can't argue with you because you're like, you have too many facts. You know, or something.
That's pretty good.
You know, like, he's like, you have too many facts. He's like, you're not some, you know, hillbilly in the woods. He's like, you're literally a professor who's like, he's actually holding a job at a university, you know, like he's respected like in the scientific community and, you know, the cryptid thing, you know what I mean?
I just like, okay, I feel like my obsession with that man.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a it's a given because the way he presents his facts.
Yeah.
It's not that he's 100% believing all like the every bit that's been said about Sasquatch.
Yeah,
he gives you what he knows, what he's physically knows, like especially like the cat like foot castings that's been posted on like the what was it, the big one where the metatarsal break, what's it called?
That one, metatarsal break.
Yeah, metatarsal break. That one's interesting. It's to me, it's the casting of the wounded foot. Yeah, the foot that's actually healed. You know, like it's like actually messed up because it healed wrong. That one is the one that gets me because he fully backs that one.
Well, you know? What I'm saying is that it's not that he's going to tell you that he believes in Bigfoot. He believes that just like Jane Goodall, she believes that there's something out there.
Yeah.
That's an unknown primate.
Yeah, she believes there's a relic.
There's primate. A relic out there, and we should be all open arms and excited that there's something that on this earth
undiscovered. Yeah.
That's undiscovered.
That's like, my end of it. Is like if there is something out there, that's phenomenal.
And like if it's something like if it's anything that we think it is, like a very intelligent creature, and it's crazy how long it's been able to avoid us.
The one thing that Meldrum goes in his book, he actually has a really good book.
Science,
I can bring it up
Science
here.
into Reality, or sorry. I remember we actually listened to it on
I have
ride
it on
Audible.
Audible, yeah. 1 second here. In one part of his book here, he actually goes into detail about, like, he doesn't believe that there needs to be fantastical explanation for it.
Yeah.
And I think that's really important.
That is.
And the other thing, too, is that the cryptid community wants desperately to attach Meldrum to them. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, Meldrum will not attach himself to the cryptids. And he doesn't come out and say it because I think it's just because the dude's not a dick. Mm-hmm. But he literally does not buy into a lot of the majority of cryptids. Like, there's the talk of like the portals and like orbs and all that shit. He literally straight up said that he doesn't think that any of the fantastical explanation is even necessary.
Yeah.
He does say, though, that some of the foot castings that he has, it would literally take another person with his level of knowledge in anatomy, and they'd have to be a master artist to be able to duplicate that. Like he straight up like endorsed the foot castings, but that's it. He's not like he doesn't buy into 90% of the video. He doesn't buy into a lot of it. He just said that whatever made these tracks is a real thing.
Right. See, like with videos and stuff, I have yet to see a video that can't be explained away.
Yeah.
Especially in our computer age. A lot of it is super bad. Like you see, what was the
Idaho?
Not the Idaho one. That one was that one. We figured out that there was actually an animation you could buy for that. No, it's the one where the family supposedly is walking in the snow cover and the bison are up front, and the one.
Oh yeah, we did a video on it a long time ago.
And one actually glitches through the trees. You know what I mean? Like it's so painfully obvious that it's fake. Because it's computer animation, and most of the videos you could pull that apart on, the pictures, there's so much pareidolia that goes on out there.
Oh yeah.
There's so much fake Photoshop, there's a couple of channels specifically that are really bad for that.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen footprints, and I've seen footprints from people that I trust, and I don't know what to make of it. I don't know what it is. I don't know what's going on, but most of the photographic or video evidence is just garbage out there. It really is.
Oh yeah,
There's
definitely.
very little of anything out there at all that's like, whoa, what is going on there?
At Meldrum, he straight up says that he doesn't think that they're. He pretty much said like, it's the Pacific Northwest.
Yeah.
But he also did say that there has been credible evidence near the Appalachians. You know what I mean?
Right.
Even in eastern Ohio.
Right.
He said so. He's like he doesn't think that the pockets of population is like crazy big.
What blows me away, and what I guess what gives me the hardest time to wrap my head around, is, are you familiar with what a vaquita is?
Mm-mm.
So the vaquita is a type of porpoise. Okay. It's a dolphin porpoise, right? There's 10 of them. It's the rarest animal on the face of the planet.
No shit.
And you can Google pictures of them.
Right.
They're wild. There's pictures of them in the wild. There's like 10 or 12 left. There's not many. That's the basic count what they have. We have photographic evidence. We have video evidence of these things existing.
Right.
There's under 20 in the world. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's weird. I don't understand what's going on out there.
Yeah.
I don't know what people are seeing. I want to know what it is.
Yeah. I think like right now there's like a handful. There's a handful of scientists. There's one group that's actually working. They're working on the actual DNA sequence.
Okay.
They're working on it. There's a big misconception in DNA though. You know how it's like, well, we don't got any blood, we ain't got no DNA. How can we prove it? That doesn't work that way. You got DNA. You got hair samples that have no core. They don't have a core. There's only one other animal on the planet that does that.
Polar bear?
Us.
Oh, us. Okay.
Yeah, polar bears have fur.
Yeah.
So they have a core, basically a hair with a core and a fur, layer. But I mean, when you go into the microscope, you can clearly see the hair, the core of the hair. Whatever these hairs that they're collecting don't have a core. So it's a fur, but it's lighter.
Right.
You know what I mean? Anyway, so they've gotten basically all these different things from these like samples that they're getting. They're getting human, they're getting chimp, they're getting it was like 14 different primates.
Yeah.
Right? It was an insane amount of primates. And that confused me. So I started looking into it. I'm like, well, why are we getting so many? Somebody going to the zoo and just like buying hair, or whatever. Also, somebody give me some hair, dude. I'm going to fucking make a fake Bigfoot or whatever.
Right.
Anyway, turns out that, well, when you take one of our hairs and you match it up, you're going to see chimp, you're going to see us, you're going to see baboon, you're going to see everything that we're kind of related to, because you basically have to piece together the sequence.
Yeah, aren't chimpanzees and us like 99% identical DNA?
Yeah, we're super close. It's like chimps are actually like a point percentage closer than even gorillas are.
Yeah.
And it's not much. We're talking like 0.1%. And that's the difference you get.
Right.
So it's like this little bit of difference, but whatever these hairs are, they have so many different similarities that they got a sample, but we don't have one in a database to match it to. There isn't a DNA sample of Sasquatch already there for them to go, oh yeah, that's a Sasquatch. Proven. Doesn't work that way. We have to build it over time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like Jane Goodall said, it's like we should be excited that we've got something that we never had before.
Well, yeah, that's
fantastic.
Like,
but now the big argument, and I'm not talking about like your TV shows, your blob squatch groups. I'm not talking about any of them guys. I'm talking about the 5 or 6 total credible scientists in the world that are actually fucking with this subject. those guys are literally saying, we have something, but we've got a few problems with this something. For one, we don't have a database of it, so we have no way to match it yet. All we can do is keep matching the hair samples to it and keep building this database. The other thing they have is they're not quite sure it's an animal. They're like, it's an animal, but it's exhibiting a lot of behaviors that is not quite animal-like. You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, you think about, like, you know, like meeting a primitive culture. Somebody who lives without any modern amenities, you know, anything like that. They live in the, you know, deepest part of the jungles, you know, and there's still undiscovered peoples all over the place.
Right.
So they're not animals. They're really, really hard to find. There's tribes that there's literally no pictures of because you can't get to them. They've made it a habit to not be found. They don't want to be found. They don't want to be messed with. You know what I mean? And then you got this subject, and I'll be right there with you saying that, yeah, 99% of it out there on the internet is probably bullshit.
Right. A lot of it is, for sure.
It's that 1% that I'm interested in.
Exactly. Same here.
And we can go on and on about magic portals and orbs and all that. Hey, yeah, man, weird shit happens. There's weird shit going on right down in Kentucky right now that I can't explain. But on this subject, I don't know if we're talking about a mystical being. I think we're talking about some hominid family member of ours.
Flesh and blood.
Just doesn't want to fuck with us at all.
What if they're a type of feral human?
That's what I think.
I've heard that before.
Yeah.
You know, because, I mean, people go feral almost as fast as hogs.
There you go.
You know, so you get, there was a documentary that I watched, and it was all about the pot farmers.
Yeah.
In the Pacific Northwest.
Yeah.
And they were talking about how these farmers would stay up there because if you left your crop,
oh yeah,
you were going to get run over. They were going to come in and steal everything, and your entire season of growing was done. Your livelihood's gone.
Yeah.
And these people being up there for like 2 months with nobody else to talk to, like stop even using language.
Right.
After that amount of time, they start speaking in grunts and things. Like they go feral.
Yeah.
You know, so what if there's a breeding population of feral humans? And if you're in the wild and competing with bears and wolves and mountain lions, the bigger you are, the stronger you are, the better off you are. Because at that point in time, you need intelligence, but you also need brute force to back it up.
Right.
So, you know, what if this whole time everybody's dismissing it and it turns out that it's just people, but they're feral?
Yeah. And extremely large.
Yeah. Well, I mean, people, you know, telephone game. Everybody gets, you talk to any fisherman.
But what would cause what would cause you to grow all that hair?
I mean,
like if you're going with the telephone thing, I could understand that. I can understand somebody with like long hair, maybe a beard, but they even show people even say that they've seen females, like even in the famous Patterson-Gimlin film, Patty.
What if this isn't modern humans? Not like us.
We're talking like
hominid?
I'm talking like a breeding population that has maybe existed in a long enough period of time where they would have the genetic makeup and all of the evolutionary traits required to survive in the wild.
What's the one that we always talked about that we actually show DNA of in our
Neanderthal,
like because they always say that it's
another one was discovered recently.
What was that?
No, we've gotten just not even 10 years ago they figured out Homo florensis, the Hobbit people.
Yeah.
But another new one has been discovered that was alive at the same time as Neanderthal, and that one. So at one point in time, and we're talking like it was like 5,000-6,000 years ago. This wasn't like far at all.
You're talking pyramids were already built.
Yeah, there was 4 humanoids walking the earth at the same time. 4 different species of humans. And like one thing I was reading about where they were saying like sapien, like Homo sapien, like we did not just spring out our own branch. We are the sum of multiple others. Mm-hmm. We're like the result. And also that our family tree with these other hominids isn't a tree at all. It's like a bush. It's not like oh well these guys happened and then these guys happened over here and then A and B got together and now this one's here. It didn't happen that way. It was literally humanoid, and we weren't all the same. You know what I mean? Like we weren't just like diverse. We were literally different species. You know, this is the weirdest part. Like just judging off of like what do you call it? Rate like what's the right fucking word here? I'm trying to find like percentiles or whatever. You know, like just basic like just draconian math, right? Technically speaking, this would be the only time period where only one hominid walked the earth.
Right.
Out of our entire history.
And humans have been around for, 180,000 years?
Right. This would be the only time. You know, it's like, it's weird.
Since, like, and when was the last time, what would it be like, 2000 BC?
Yeah.
Something like that. Because, if I'm not mistaken, there were Neanderthals while the pyramids were up, right? Neanderthals were like, 25,000 years ago? Wasn't that far. It wasn't that far off. Yeah.
And they were, that was what it was. That was the other recent one they found. It was a more recent, like Neanderthal, they were in Russia.
Yeah.
And it was a lot more recent. Neanderthals were so recent that there are people on Earth today that are like up to 10% of Neanderthal DNA.
Right.
Which is insanity. That's nuts. So that's recent.
I can say that I probably have probably 11% because my forehead sticks out.
13% is supposedly the actual maxed out right now, like the farthest they've found. But now they're thinking, well, Homo florensis was also around, and this other one was also around. So now they're wondering, like, okay, well, what's up with them?
Like what I was asking about the whole hair thing too is like you were even saying like a lot of these, there's tribes out there that they don't want to be found.
Yeah.
They keep outsiders away.
Right.
But you would still see some of them, but most of them are like they're still hairless. Like they're still like kind of.
We're
like
technically. I mean, as far as the hairless goes, I mean, we're technically it as far as that. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying.
Our
like
species. I think that if there's a Sasquatch species, if it's a species like and it's a hominid and it's related to us even distantly, like a little distantly, I don't think it's going to be a dead-on match to us.
So you kind of like say like it's more like.
I think it's going to predate
like a gorilla, like because a gorilla's not really related. We're more related to, like you said, the chimpanzee.
Well, it's like the Gigantopithecus we talked about.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so when it was alive, there was a gigantic land bridge going from there to here. Right? Mm-hmm. And like a lot of people like the misconception of the land bridge is that it was a frozen tundra. And it really wasn't. Mm-hmm. It was a forest. So we're not talking like I mean, obviously it was a difficult trek. You know, that's a monumental distance, but it wasn't this like unheard of frozen thing that was impossible to pass.
I was gonna say it's not even as big as you think it is.
Yeah.
The trek from New York to LA is longer than the Bering Strait, isn't it?
Yeah. So all these creatures that were alive then, they weren't really like setting out to discover new worlds. They were just expanding territory a little bit at a time. They had all the time in the world to get here.
I was wrong, by the way. I had to look that up. The last Neanderthals were like 40,000 years ago, and the pyramids are like 5,000 years ago. is
Yeah.
when they were built.
But we got another one that was a lot more recent.
Right.
That was just discovered. It was like, I'm talking like maybe even the last few weeks.
But it was still
discovered.
Neanderthal?
It was related to the Neanderthal, but it was way more recent.
Yeah.
Showing that they said it was like this is gonna rock a lot of studies because of how recent they are.
If you actually kind of think about it too, because we talked about this a while, like in past episodes. The Neanderthal wasn't like everybody keeps like making the joke about like they're dumb and whatnot, but they are very like.
Oh, they were brilliant.
They were brilliant in their own way. Like they were very brutish. Like they used their strength a lot.
Yeah, they were stocky. As
they
hell.
were stocky. So, and eventually, like we think that I really in my thought process for this, maybe the Sasquatch might be an offshoot of the Neanderthal because the Neanderthal kind of died out because they either A, breeded with us, or B, because not all problems need to be used by brute force. Like, they probably overexerted themselves and died off. And
I feel like
you guys
died off is a bad term for it, personally. Because I'm like, Neanderthal as a species isn't here now, but it's like they're not gone. If you know what I mean, like
they did what they did. Like they,
I feel like they completed their genetic purpose.
But what I'm saying is that's the reason why we don't see a lot of Sasquatch.
Right.
I would let's put it down like this: is that Sasquatch is the next link for Neanderthal or something. They're not in it to expand their race or anything of that nature. They just want to live their life and stuff of that nature. So there's not so many of them. Like
over the last, say, 1,000 years, what if you're just seeing the final decline of the species?
I was gonna say, because for Neanderthal to be the Sasquatch, it would have had to have de-evolved.
Yeah.
Because Neanderthals, I mean, not only were they brute force and strong and smart, they had tools.
Right.
That is true.
They made clothes.
I wasn't thinking about that.
They had tattoos.
Yeah.
I mean, these were people.
Yeah.
They weren't people like us, but they were people.
Right. Well, you got to think about that. What about now? Us. You got to think about us. There's a lot of people that want to go off grid. They literally are de-evolving. They're taking the technology out and de-evolving and wanting, because they want a simpler life. Right. What if that's the same thing that they thought that?
What about
back when they started, they felt like, oh, grandfather was so much better off when he just lived in his cave. Now, you know what? I'm going to do the same thing.
Well, okay, I've chromed the BFRO literally like a madman, right? And I've literally dismissed 99% of the shit that I read there, right? But there was these ones, and you guys know this. It was like the monster tracker, because these ones actually displayed a behavior that made sense to me. Mm-hmm. And it was always the same thing. It was the whole shit. And then it's like it gets caught. It's like a lapse of whatever. Mm-hmm. It's like living your life fully aware of your surroundings, trying to do your best to avoid everything around you, to pass as unseen as you can. And a lapse of judgment, a mistake, whatever, it happens. And it's a woo shit, and it stands there, and it stares at the person that got unlucky enough to see it. Mm-hmm. And there's this moment of,
what should I do?
Oh, fuck. They see me.
What you just said right there, that is a monumental statement. And that's something to think about. Mm-hmm. Is that if you were to see a Bigfoot, it would be the most unfortunate experience you could ever have.
Yep.
As far as experiencing anything like,
Sure.
Discovering something. Because one, the only people that are going to believe you
Right.
are people like us that are like, all right, man, tell us what you've seen.
Yeah.
The cryptid community itself dismisses almost everything that's thrown at it.
Oh, it folds in on itself.
Yeah, it is.
I feel
it's
like
origami.
I feel like it takes a too harsh look at a lot of people. Like they're wanting too much out of something that literally we haven't found in
Okay.
we haven't actually found evidence.
This,
but sorry, I know he was actually trying to get a point out, but I'm sorry.
You're fine. But yeah, it's like, can you imagine harboring that? And that's what I think is great about what we're doing is here's your outlet. Nobody's going to judge you. Tell us what you got.
Yeah.
There's all three of us are in different stages of belief.
Sure.
So we listen with the open ear, regardless of what your story is. But if you haven't heard of us or heard of somebody that does the same thing we're doing, you've got this event, this major event in your life.
Yeah.
That you can't tell anybody because they're going to think you're nuts.
Right.
You can't just walk into a gas station like, hey, how's your day going? Well, man, it's going right, but just saw Bigfoot like an hour ago. You know what I mean? Like you
can't shoot that shit. Like that person's like, once you leave, they're going to be like,
they're going to be like, well, you know what? I'm selling you this beer now. So
yeah.
I'm saying like
the
fucking cryptid community, right? They're imploding.
Yeah.
It's imploding, right?
It is.
You got like all these people. I know I got on there one day and somebody like actually, literally beat me to the punch, and they just posted. And he said something along the lines of like, he was like, how come, in the day and age, everybody's got a cell phone, all this, we got cameras. And when it comes to the dog man, we got all these descriptions, but there's just no pictures. And I was like, well, I might as well chime in. I guess I'm kind of a troll on the Dogman forums lately. I don't want to be, but it's like, dude, somebody's got to do something about this fucking insanity, because this has gotten out of hand. Okay, for one thing, yeah, as soon as you bring a camera out, it turns into a bush, because none of your stories that you're hearing on these podcasts, none of them coincide with the behavior. And the only reason that I lean towards Bigfoot more is because out of all of them, it's the most probable one, right? The probability of a relic hominid on a planet that still has like 60% of the landmass undiscovered, it's pretty fucking good. There's a solid chance that, yes, you have a big hominid out there. And is it stupid? Fuck no, it's not stupid. It's avoiding a population of basically invaders. It's living in a population full of predators, if you think about it. Because there's so many people out there that literally the first thing that they say is, we need a body. We need a body. Dude, I think you're talking about a person. You don't need a person's body. It's as more likely, we might be saying like, okay, it's a 7 foot, 8 foot tall fucking hair covered thing. Dude, I'm thinking it's a person. It's not some fucking animal to be discovered. This is an indigenous person that probably lived here before, saw all of it. I mean, even the Native Americans are like, yeah, we don't fuck with them. We leave them be.
I wanted to...
It's like, go ahead, man. Sorry.
No, you're good.
I get fucking aggravated with the whole thing, because it's like...
I hate to say it, but be perfectly honest, like, listening to people's stories, reading all this stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I get where you're coming from on a lot of this stuff where it seems like a lot of bullshit. Especially, I don't know how far I am on the Dogman, but the big guy, I can feel that can be a plausible thing out there.
I don't call it a cryptid. I don't feel like cryptid. I feel like relic hominid, maybe.
But what I'm saying,
undiscovered person.
What I'm trying to like get at is that I would
make that a movement. The undiscovered person.
Undiscovered person. Undiscovered big people.
Undiscovered persons movement. But let's make that movement happen.
Yeah, let's do that.
But what I'm trying to get at is that if it's out there, I feel like we know about it.
Yeah.
Our government knows about it. And the reason, like, they know how many... I wouldn't say they know to a T how many there are, but they know the locations that they've been in.
No, man. Our government lost nuclear warheads.
But what I'm saying is that I wanted to say that they at least know some locations that this thing is real.
Right.
But you know how, like he was saying, like the Native Americans, how dirty they did them with the land that they give them and stuff of that nature. Yeah. This is an intelligent creature, or I can't even say relic hominid. How are you supposed to give this thing rights? See, and you know for a fact
that's
everybody...
actually a big ethical thing that this is an actual government discussion. What he's talking about is if someone discovers it, where do the rights come in? They don't even know how to like determine it because they're like, okay, it's upright. It's obviously smart. It tries to avoid everybody. You know, it's usually only seen or caught on anything on accident. It's not a deliberate, you know. That's why I don't believe a lot of the bullshit, you know, like the attacks and
the attacks.
People trying to link it to like missing 411.
The reason why, if the attacks are real, I feel like it feels threatened. Kind of like if you're around baby bears, you know, mama's around the corner that's going to fuck. Well, I would say that the mother, like, even if there wasn't baby bears, she'd still fuck you up. I mean, but there's more of a fear factor in that. Mm-hmm. Like, you know how you would feel if you were threatened or your family was threatened. You would stand your ground and you would show your fucking chest and you would say, back the fuck off.
Yeah. It doesn't even take threatening in the animal kingdom, though. That's the thing, is that the primates, your apes, are territorial.
But that's what I'm saying is more like we're not saying that we're now saying that this is not an animal. Right. This is a thinking being that actually it knows what it is. It knows that it's a living, breathing thing. It actually has a thought. It has thoughts.
Like I'm not so sure that it sits there and ponders its own existence.
Yeah,
but I feel like they're smart enough.
Yeah, it knows where it's at.
They're smart enough to do what they want to do.
Right, but I mean, you're still going to blur a line there between primate and sapient. You know what I mean?
That's the big ethics question right now. Is like if they discover. I think it's hilarious that this shit's actually escalated to like the actual like forum of law. Mm-hmm. That okay, so if we find one. Where do we draw any kind of lines here? Is it a person? Is it an indigenous person? Like what? You know what I mean?
I really want to know. Like the day it comes out, like somebody finds one.
Yeah.
And like it's at their house or like they're helping it out. Maybe it's dinner. Wounded. How many? I want to know the lawyer that's going to come up like this. Hi, I'm James Hawkins. Like you need a lawyer right now to get your rights.
Bigfoot attorney at law.
Yeah, it's like but that's the thing too. Somebody's in the background trying to think of like how I'm going to get money. How could I squeeze money out of this?
Yeah,
it doesn't matter what.
Oh my God, there's going to be a collection of Bigfoots getting back taxed.
Oh my God,
yeah, property tax.
Yeah, so this is their land, right? So let's just go ahead and tax them all.
And you got to think, it's Pacific Northwest, so they're going in and out of Canada and back without any kind of passport, dude.
Yep.
Oh, it's man, they're going to get a hefty fine.
Yep, it's going to be bad. That will literally be our first thought. Well, we got to tax the fuck out of these guys. Big hairy fucks.
I can just see, like, I want to say, like, hundreds of years down the road, like, we found them. They start getting a little bit smarter, so now you're seeing Bigfoots or Sasquatches in like business suits. They have like Sasquatch attorney at law.
Josh is inspecting one of his buildings. He's like, "Hey, Leroy, come here." Big fucking Leroy comes walking in, grabs his shirt, lifts him up so he can look at the rafters, sets him back down. Good job, buddy. Take lunch.
That would be amazing.
Told you about that infrasound shit while we're at work, though. Can't be like doing that up this high.
Like you made me shit like 3 times already. My
I
guts
shit my pants twice, dude.
Yeah.
That's your fault. You owe me pants, motherfucker. Honestly, man, like
a hard hat barely fits on my head.
Right.
I can't imagine trying to get it to fit on anything.
See, you could we already have a marketing thing too. The big and talls, like, hey, if you're a Sasquatch out there, I got you clothing.
So if you're going to talk about that, I've got to rant a little bit.
Yeah.
The whole big and tall thing.
Right.
All right. I'm using my platform for a second here. Big and tall stores. Quit fucking lying.
Right.
It's all big. There's no tall.
Yeah.
I have went into big and tall stores.
Yeah.
And then you like wearing parachute pants.
And I could lay down in the pants.
Yeah.
But I can't put them on there. I mean, it's ridiculous. If I need a pair of pants that's 72 inches in waist, no problem. But the legs are only going to be 29 inches. All right. So I wear...
Should be big or tall?
I wear 36-inch inseam pants.
Yeah.
So you can imagine how much fun that is to try to find pants, right?
Yeah.
I've went to big and tall stores. You know what they don't have? 36-inch inseam pants. So they need to quit lying. Okay, that's just my rant. It's not the big and tall.
So
It's
we're
just
gonna
a
have
big
to-
store.
No, I would join you on that. I'm a big fellow, but every time I find pants that are in my waist size,
Yeah.
like, dude, yeah, my legs are swimming in these pants. Like, they make you think like my fucking legs are the size of fucking garbage cans.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm like, dude, I don't want I need the waist size, but like, I even try to find tapered ones, and they still feel.
Oh, it's, yeah.
Yeah, they're like two garbage bags on me.
It's
Like,
aggravating as hell, man. And
it's so aggravating.
I think I told you guys the story that happened at work not too long ago where I was up on the scaffold. And
Oh, yeah, and
I turned and I ripped an 8-inch rip in the crotch of my pants.
Yeah.
your member was out.
And my helper was immediately like, I've never heard anybody say go buy pants so fast in my life.
I really thought that he was calling his thing his helper
Yeah,
for a second. Did you?
Yeah.
For like a second, I was like,
That's amazing.
is that what you call it?
Okay, I'm glad that he brought this back up because now I can actually put it on a recording. I wish they would have said like, "Hey, Josh, I used to think you were crazy, but now I can see your nuts."
Right? That would have been beautiful.
That would have been beautiful. I'm just
so
saying.
I had to leave the job
Yeah.
and drive. I think it was like 6 minutes down the road. There happened to be a Walmart. Imagine that, 6 minutes away. And I go in there, and I spent 35 to 40 minutes trying to find a single pair of pants to fit me. It's ridiculous. There's nothing out there. The big and tall section. No,
Yeah.
it's just the big section. There's no tall.
Oh yeah.
It doesn't matter where you go. I have to order all my pants online.
I was gonna say I gave up. I just order my shit now.
It's just so much easier to order them. But that's a major. I mean, Amazon's not going to deliver me a pair of pants on a job site and appease my helper immediately. You know what I mean?
I would have made him suffer. Been like, dude, you deal with this. God damn it, I'm the boss.
Right.
You deal with
This is what a
this.
man looks like.
Yeah.
This is what Sasquatch deals with every day.
I mean, there's
Do you
only
think
so
they complain
much,
about it?
There's only so much exposed during the working hours. We're running circular saws and things.
Yeah.
And I know denim isn't that thick, but it does give it a little level of comfort.
Right.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I can. I wouldn't go on a job site wearing a loincloth.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Why not? I mean,
It might be
it's
breezy.
probably like it's been hot.
I'm gonna tell you, there's a few times this week and this last week that I wished I had.
I feel like we need
at least a kilt in the boom lift.
Yeah.
I feel like we need a slingshot this back to
Yeah.
the big guy. Because we're just talking about pants.
I'm
And
just
stuff.
saying
If they do
it's really
discover
hot out.
and he needs pants,
Well, yeah,
I know
he
where I
needs-
can buy pants now.
Yeah. I feel like Bigfoot will be like, fuck pants.
I think he's a kilt guy.
He'll be
Yeah, no,
like,
no, no,
dude,
no.
I've gotten
He would just
along
wear
all
the
this
top
time without him.
They'll always wear the top part, like the suit,
Just the shirt.
Like
just
Donald
like a
Duck?
button-up suit, tie, and a jacket.
Yeah.
I can see that going down.
Like a cartoon monkey lawyer.
Like he's literally standing there in like a fucking like dinner jacket, and his Bigfoot thing is just hanging there. You know what I mean?
I really like. I just don't understand. Like, why do you think it's going to be big?
Do you think he'd wear a cummerbund?
Actually,
least wear a
you know,
loincloth.
that was actually a conversation I dipped into reading it, and then I just immediately checked myself right out. And they were like, "Dude, these are hominids, so you know he's not going to be packing." Evolutionary, like, on an evolution level, it's not a great idea to have a Bigfoot-sized helper.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, that would be terrible. Thorn bushes.
Right. He's traveling some horrible shit out there.
Right.
You know, poison ivy, poison oak.
would be terrible
poison
to get there.
sumac. I don't know if
But would it
poison
be
sumac
free?
is.
Stinging nettles.
Oh yeah, dude. You ever seen them big briar thorns?
Oh yeah.
I got those on my farm, man. They're fucking terrible. It's
Yeah.
it's like a bunch of nails.
Your just helper
Black
just
locust.
smacks it.
Yeah.
Black locust trees.
Yeah.
I mean, you
Smacks
can.
right into
I
it.
mean, you could like put up gutters with a black locust tree. Those
Yeah.
spikes are ridiculous.
Yeah, it's nuts. It was funny having a little conversation with a guy at work about all this. I was kind of giving him my rundown. Like, I was like, yeah, I'm really not on board with the whole like cryptid creature side of the Bigfoot thing. I was like, I'm thinking it's like a wild person or you know a relic humanoid. And he's like, well, what about the missing 411, man, where people are just vanishing? You don't think Bigfoot's doing that?
No.
I'm straight up, like, I just went from, like, 0 to 100 on him. Like, I think I actually shocked him because I was like, oh, no, dude, that's shit going on in those forests. Time and space is folding and swallowing people.
Yeah, let's not just assume people are dumb and make dumb decisions.
Yeah. And he literally was like, what? I'm like, dude, I'm just saying. Time and space. Time and space, man. We don't know. We have no idea. Literally, like, what I'm even getting at is, like, I'll be honest with you. Like, when I first said it out loud, I was like, yeah, I'm fucking crazy. Like, I'm fucking nuts, dude. I can't ever say this shit. But truthfully, dude, like, read about it. Like, read about this
But
shit.
then another thing, too, is you got to think, like, if you guys out there listen to our last episode, we talked about the same thing about losing time.
Yeah.
It's like that when we think of the forest, we're going to assume that it's Bigfoot.
Dude, you ever looked into Bob Lazar?
Yeah.
I love his lasagna.
Bob Lazar.
I don't. Sorry.
He came out like, what was it, like the 80s, 86 or 87, something like that, and confessed to working in Area 51.
Well, not only that, he was head of Project Blue Book.
Right? And he literally tells the entire story. And here, this is the craziest shit about Bob Lazar's story is that everything he said back then, and they have literally drug him through the fucking mud. And now all the shit that he said is all coming true. Like, one thing after another is happening. And he's talking about, like, what was the element, what was it, element, like, 13 or element 113 or so, I can't remember.
Yeah.
He, like, told us all, he was like, yeah, this, you know, there was this element that was present in all of these alien ships. He's like, and we just called it element 113 because it wasn't on our table, you know. And he was like, it's an element, and he started discussing the isotopes in it and all this shit. And he's like, yeah, they're way more dense than anything else that we have on Earth. And he's like, we felt that that's what the engine was using to warp time and space. And then they're like, what do you mean warp time and space? He's like, well, the engine was creating anti-gravity. It was creating a gravity field. When they like, at some point, he said that they knew how to turn it on. They could get it to turn on. And when it was on, you couldn't put your hand on it. And that was like a gag that they did to like, when they were like working on this thing. They're like, yeah, try to put your hand on it.
Like new people?
I guess.
That's terrible.
He said it was the dude that when he got there, when he first got there, the dude that was already there was showing him around. Because this is actually another thing that turns out to be kind of true. Anytime there's a top secret anything that needs scientists, they work in a system of 2 to 3 people. And there's multiple teams of 2 to 3 people. You're allowed to discuss the project, but only with those other 2 people. You're not allowed to like go to one of the other teams and talk about it. So this is shit he said back in the 80s, that he had a guy that he was allowed to talk to about it, but that was it. And he said that the guy was like, yeah, put your hand on it. And he was like, really? He's like, yeah, it won't hurt you. Just put your hand on it. And he said when he tried to, it was like putting 2 magnets together. It would not let his hand touch it.
Oh, like you're pushing against it.
Yeah, like he
negative
could not put his finger on it. It would not allow it. And he was like, "So what is this thing?" And they were like, "Well, we think this is like the engine." And he said they had 9 ships. And one of the ships was like it was underground in a rock formation that was like 117,000 years old. They found the ship there.
Okay.
And these dudes were digging up shit and found this fucking ship sitting there.
Okay, with all that said, I want to ask you guys.
Time and space. Some of those forests have a ship underneath of them, and that engine's malfunctioning, and it's causing a ripple in time and space, and that's where people are disappearing to.
Damn.
They're getting folded up in time and space, and they're vanishing.
I wanted to ask, what? God dang it, you lost my train of thought.
I know it's crazy. I don't give a fuck.
Do you think that there are men in black?
Fuck yeah.
So you think that there is?
There has to be.
Do you think? So you believe that there's a government agent? Well, I wouldn't say
I don't
full
think they're
government
like
agency.
Tommy Lee Jones and Will Smith. Like, actually, I don't think they have our well-being in mind. I think they're literally just there. Like, if you see something that you can't explain, they show up and they're like, "Dude, you better not say a fucking thing, or I swear to God, we will." Oh my God!
I don't have a problem slapping the shiznit out of you.
Dude, we will slap your grandmother. You want that to happen?
No, I don't want my grandmother slapped.
Right? She's a nice lady.
She is a nice lady.
We don't want that, and they'll do it too.
But okay, let me throw this out there. You guys don't have to really give it out there. Do you believe aliens has visited this Earth?
I think they're drones.
You don't think they're actual physical beings?
I don't know, but I think they're drones. People have probably been abducted. This is just my opinion. I don't know how you guys look at it, but I think people have probably been abducted. But it's like, how many times have scientists like going out into Australia looking for the Tasmanian tiger?
Right.
It's, you know what I mean? It's resource. It's, it costs money. It costs time. You don't know if you're going to find anything or figure out anything. So it's like, if they're studying us, which they should be, if they, if that's what they're doing, they should be studying us, then it's probably not something that happens a lot. Like, you know what I mean? You got to get the fucking crew together. You got to get all the food and stuff you need for the trip. You got to figure out all your ins and outs, like your insurance, all that stuff. There's like a bunch of planning that probably goes into like, hey, let's go to Earth and grab one and run some tests,
Yeah.
And then we're going to turn it loose after we get done probing its ass. You know what I mean?
Okay.
That's me though. I don't know what Josh's answer is.
Oh, what about you? Do you?
I'm kind of siding with you. I don't know that aliens themselves have been here.
Yeah.
Maybe they have. I haven't seen one.
Yeah.
I mean, I could speculate wildly, of course.
Right.
I 100% guarantee that we are not the only intelligent creatures in the universe.
Yeah.
That with the arrogance it would take for us to be the only ones out there is absurd.
Yeah.
And if they're further away from the center of the Big Bang, then presumably they're further along in time and more advanced than we are.
Right.
So there's, I don't know. I think Denny's onto something. I think they're sending drones.
I think that the grays, the grays that people, they see, dude, I think, what if they're machines? No one's ever killed one that we know of. Well, I mean, the government supposedly has bodies. What if they're sitting there with biomechanical...
Like an android?
Yeah, like an android.
Or maybe it's actually
That'd be the smartest way to do it.
Or maybe it's an organic type of suit. Maybe it's a robot, but it's not. It's controlled maybe telepathically. We don't know the applications of these aliens.
It could be like a replimoid. You know what I mean? Like you raise this organic machine up. You program it. Here's what your purpose is. You're going to be close enough to their DNA to survive on their planet should you need to. You're just going to be studying and sending data back.
I mean, that's the
And
most realistic sounding explanation.
And
You know what I
I've heard.
mean?
Yeah, and plus, because if you're that much of an advanced race that you can make all this technology
Yeah.
to send something into outer space, contact another species,
And it explains why you
and
see
I'm
so
just
many
saying, like, are
different
you
types,
gonna
too.
are you going to do it yourself?
Isn't there another term for that? Isn't that called an avatar?
Sure.
When
yeah.
you've got a biomechanical thing that you can control
Yeah.
telepathically. That's like the whole basis behind the movie Avatar itself, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And I think there's been other situations where I think even Guardians of the Galaxy used the Avatar type thing.
Yeah.
Uh,
That's what I'm saying. It's like, I mean, think about the logistical problems of bringing living creatures from across the galaxy to here.
right.
You don't even know how we're going to react.
Yeah, and plus,
You know?
if they don't have what we keep talking about, if they can't literally do like make a singularity
Yeah.
or something where they can full space and time and get here fast, what if this thing is being grown as it gets here?
That would be that would be if I was an alien race and I was going to send replicants or whatever, avatars to study a planet. I would send the ship, let it travel, go down to the bottom of the ocean, park itself, and then start growing the creatures that are going to go around exploring and collecting data.
And this ship would have satellite ships on it. So the mothership basically would be...
It would be under the ocean.
And then the satellite ships would come out and do what they do.
Yeah.
Like you think, we need a place where we can stash this ship that they can't get to.
So I was just
I mean,
asking.
It's not like pressure's gonna bother it. It's a fucking gravity machine.
So
you know what I mean?
Dude,
it's gonna.
Jesus, that is.
I feel like we're screwing with Josh here.
That is the most reasonable.
I'm just saying.
I mean, aliens are my thing. I love the idea.
Oh
of
yeah,
aliens.
definitely.
And this is. I love it. I love everybody your idea.
I'm just saying. Like I'm taking all the fantastical out of it and just going off of shit we've like seen and heard. The ships are insane. They can outmaneuver anything. Like it's so fast. What was it? Like fucking 80,000 feet to the ocean in like less than a second.
Right.
Dude, what does that? Unless it's literally using the power of gravity to travel.
Well, another thing too is, okay, we say the little like the grays or these things that people have seen.
Yeah.
Have we ever taken the time? Because everybody always says, okay, this planet's we're in a Goldilocks zone.
Yeah.
That they say life can survive on this planet.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But that's a Goldilocks zone for life
As we know it.
as we know it.
Yeah.
Us. Somewhere where we could go. If there was a planet that was in the Goldilocks zone for us, we could live there. There might be some kind of differences, but for the most part, it's in our living. But we're not taking the time to think about livable areas that could evolve a different type of being. Like it could change it. It's like they keep saying this Goldilocks zone, but it's not. A Goldilocks zone could be for something else, could be totally different. It could be closer to the sun, it could be farther away from the sun. It's like, but it would change their anatomy. But what I'm saying is, have we ever dived deep and looking at these little grays, what type of atmosphere and, like, okay, what would cause somebody to have that type of body?
Dude.
To have that brain, and like
it's like they're I think they're being bred here to live here.
I get that, but what I'm saying
and
is,
if you send them to a different planet, they'd be pre-programmed to grow there and live there.
So
yeah, that's what I was saying.
Now, to piggyback on your theory about them being grown at the bottom of the ocean.
Yeah.
If the gravity situation was an issue down there, that might explain why they look like four-legged octopus.
Yeah, I mean, it's dark.
It's spindly. They're always described as being spindly and almost rubbery and with a big head.
Yeah.
And big black eyes. I mean, that's.
So they're there to maybe they're just like, obviously if they're being grown, they're evolving rapidly. I mean, dude, we're talking like advanced, like probably the most craziest advanced like bioengineering ever. So yeah, they probably adapt on the fly.
And that's another that's another thing too, is maybe the DNA, like the abductions, could be to help grow these.
They're borrowing DNA to help
grow these
drones. Holy shit! Now there's a level. That makes sense too.
Because if you
need
need
some
like,
materials.
Okay, I'm stealing this. I know it was a terrible movie, but what about like the Predators or The Predator?
Yeah.
Remember how they said that it had human DNA spliced in with it?
Yeah.
Like that's what I'm kind of like. Maybe it's like that. Like they're trying to adapt, like have adaptive species to to come here.
And he brings a predator, and to bring this thing full circle, there's a scene in Predator where there's a Neanderthal skull sitting on a pike,
right?
Which means that they've been hunting here forever,
right?
But that's
this came full circle.
It did.
But the reason why I asked you guys that was, if they had if it's a drone or a clone, or what would it be like? What would you call it? Like
I would call it a drone.
A drone, like a
even the little gray aliens. I would call them drones too.
A bio drone.
A bio drone.
A bio drone. So.
And it explains why you see so many different types.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, you never know what you need it for.
Yeah.
You could be needed for this. You could be needed for this.
What I was asking is that, do you really? Okay, I'm really stealing a lot of this because Netflix just put all 3 Men in Black movies on. So Tommy Lee Jones made the joke is that how they fund the Men in Black is that they own patents that they from like microwaves or something. What in this world that blows your mind so much that you think that it should have been alien technology? Like it came out of nowhere to you. It could be something that was back in the day that it was random. It came out. Do you think it might have been alien technology? Like you don't think that we were anywhere close to figuring out?
I mean, there's the whole argument of like, hey, we went from horses to airplanes in 100 years. You know what I mean?
Right.
There's a lot of that, but then the argument also is that look, if you give a primitive man a stick, he's going to sharpen it into a spear. If he's lucky, he's going to kill something with the spear. He's going to break a rock until he has a sharp edge. He's going to cut up the meat. He's going to eat it. He just learned that stick and that rock gets him food. And he's got a hide now too, so he doesn't have to be cold at night. Okay, so the next time he goes out, he has a spear, but this one's got a stone spearhead on it. And that stone spearhead comes off. So when it goes into the animal, it stays there. Does more damage, right? Happenstance. It's more efficient and it's reloadable. Eventually it turns into bows and arrows. Eventually he wants that spear to go faster. Eventually it becomes a crossbow. Eventually it becomes a black powder rifle. Eventually it becomes a fucking horse, and eventually it becomes
a tank,
a train, a steam engine. Eventually becomes a combustion engine. Eventually becomes, like fucking jet fuel was an accident. You know what I mean? It was like there's billions of us on the planet.
Mm-hmm.
Like I know the argument of like it's got to be too crazy. There's no way we could have did it. There's billions of us, and we're all working on our own different shit at any given time. Do you know what I mean? There's gonna be discoveries.
I get that, but there's so many things that it's so weird how it came to be.
Yeah.
Like to the
like
processes that they would have to do.
Like what? I mean, we built the pyramids. Or
but
aliens did.
I'm just saying, like, I
just don't see why aliens would. You know what I mean? Like, What? Why would you?
Right?
Like,
I mean,
what's the
yeah.
fucking point?
Okay, you're saying the pyramids. What about the Baghdad battery?
Yeah, I don't know.
That one was really weird. Why would they need? What would they have done with
How
that?
many of them have they found?
I think they only found a call. But the
What
crappy
if
thing,
it's-
what was that one? Because they said that the one pyramid had copper lining all over it, and it had no sarcophagus
Yeah.
in it. And they said that they finally opened up the inside of it, and it was like, yeah, they saw the copper lining,
Yeah.
and they were seeing water actually go up it or something like that. I feel like I'm paraphrasing the fuck out of this.
Yeah. Who
If you
knows,
guys
man?
look at it, I can't remember which pyramid it was, but look at it. It was like a pyramid power plant. I think it was the clickbaity thing on YouTube.
Dude, that whole Baghdad battery thing, though, I have a theory about it, but it's depressing.
It just
I
happenstance.
seriously think some dude back then just like, what the fuck is this? Why is this doing this? This is fucking neat. You know what I mean? Like,
Just
dude,
shocking
this
himself over
this
and
is
over.
cool as shit. What is this? And he probably just like, threw it on the fucking ground and walked away because he was like, "What? I don't even know what it does." You know what I mean? Like he made it. It was neat for a little bit, and then he was like, "Fuck it."
He just never took
'Cause
the
it was
time
like-
to go further.
If
with
it was like revolutionary, like they're like, "Oh, there's these fucking ancient cities just full of all this fucking technology." You ever looked at the Baghdad battery? That's not advanced technology.
yeah, it's
It's a
just
clay pot.
It's
yeah,
a fucking
clay,
pot. Yeah.
it's a clay pot. Yeah, that's
So I'm like, are you gonna tell me they fucking like lit up Egypt, ancient Egypt, with these things? Like this was their power supplies? Because it didn't fucking work
it was
very good.
it was a single cell battery. Like, dude, it only kept a charge for like a second or two or
I'll
something.
say, well, you get more charge out of a lemon and a potato, don't you?
Dude,
Yeah.
it could have been the Marty McFly thing. Dude, some fucking alien crash landed.
Needed a jump start.
He needed a fucking jump start to get back off the goddamn planet, and he's like, dude, make these. I need a bunch of them. And that one just got left out for some reason. Maybe it was a fucking dud. Like it just didn't work very good. Didn't have the charge. Yeah, I don't know. It's like the pyramid. They're like, oh, dude, these pyramids are markers for ancient aliens. I'm like, why? What would be the reason that this alien's like, I need you to build? Okay, gather around, guys. Okay, look, I need you to build these pyramids. Okay, it's gonna take a while. All right, you're probably gonna die before you see it built, but your kids can finish it. So we appreciate you. So get on that. What for? Like, why? Unless there's ships underneath of it, you know.
You know, you make a valid point, because if they made it all the way to here, why would they need?
They don't need it.
Why would they need pyramids?
Yeah, it's like, dude, that's shit we do. We build shit for no reason.
That's like that's the thinking of somebody
But-
that GPS wasn't very good at the time when that theory came around. You know,
But do you think that? Yeah, we probably. But do you think that? Not saying that aliens asked us to build them.
Yeah.
But do you think that they built them to market?
I know if you stand at the right angle, you can see the stars line up with the pyramid tips.
Yeah, the Orion's belt.
Dude, you know, if I
Isn't it?
stand at the right spot out at the farm, my shed lines up with those same stars.
Isn't it Orion's belt?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can get my shed to line up with those same stars if I stand at the right spot.
that's a valid point.
I'm saying, like, not trying to sound like a dick here, but I can make almost anything line up with those three stars just by fucking sitting or standing in the right place. I'm like, yeah, dude, okay, you got me. You know, if I stand way far back over here in this one spot, yeah, they're right there. They're pointing up at the sky where all the stars are. That's great. And what if they didn't point at Orion's? What if they just randomly pointed at just some stars? You know, or I'm completely wrong and the aliens told us to build those so that we'd know which planets they live on. You know, I don't know. I just feel like it's fucking. They could have just wrote it on a note.
Planets,
Like, here, look, here's the stars, right? They look like those. You looking, and the people are like, yeah, I see it, and they're like, okay, so I'm gonna draw an arrow. That's the one we live at. So if you guys ever You know,
need to contact us.
you build a bunch of these batteries and put them in your pyramid, and you can fly the pyramid up here whenever you get it built. We're gonna get out of here though. You work on it. We'll see you in a couple thousand years.
He's like, yeah, what's up, man?
I'm sorry, but like my brain just doesn't want to accept it.
Okay. That's a bad example to say that aliens made it.
Yeah.
But what about if you saw cave paintings? Like I say, Prometheus. Let's go with Prometheus.
Yeah. So
There's like pointing to a system, and then you find that system. Like, would that make you believe that there's something trying to...
Let me give you some hope here.
Oh, shit.
Okay? Because even though I talk mad shit about the pyramids, there is something about the pyramids that does make me think that they saw a big triangular ship at one point.
Ooh.
Because all over the fucking world, all kinds of people built pyramids. So I'm like... Why did they all decide on that?
You know, unless they landed, maybe that's another thing too. Is
could
that they
just been
landed
flying
there.
over? You know, they're like, oh, that's our gods. Let's build something to honor them.
If they were flying over, you wouldn't have noticed that they were pyramids, though. You know what I'm saying?
It would look like a triangle.
It would look like a triangle. What? Like, would you just make a triangle if you saw a triangle?
You know what's funny?
Huh?
There's pyramids in Mexico.
Yeah.
Nobody ever says aliens built those.
But I thought
that's fucked up, man.
Like Mayans.
We could get that started.
No, I'm just saying, like we're all like, yeah, the Egyptians couldn't have done it.
Well, like, are they saying
the Mexicans, however,
right? See, we wouldn't bat an eye. We'd be like, them motherfuckers, they know how to work, dude. They can get shit done.
They built
isn't
that shit,
the pyramids in like Egypt and stuff? Ain't they older than those? Are they probably the same?
I think, from what I understand, I'm pretty sure that like most of the big structures down in South America and all that, I think they're pretty close to the same age.
And even then, it doesn't matter. I mean, it's not like the South Americans traveled to Egypt,
right? Like they would have had no idea,
right?
What? Okay, what about the what is it called? The Minx?
The Sphinx?
The Sphinx.
The Sphinx was a god.
Yeah.
But what, like...
See, they were like, that's our god. We're going to build a big statue of
That's
him.
another thing, too. You can, like, go back to,
that.
like... people's actually took the time and thought about it.
Yeah.
Like, Stargate. Have you ever, watched the movie Stargate? Like, the whole Raw and that, like, how they depicted the, like, gods, like... They had aliens that were still like people, but they were wearing helmets.
10,000 BC, wasn't it an alien at the end of it or something?
What?
10,000 BC, remember that movie?
Vaguely.
It was like at the very end when he.
You talking about with Vin Diesel?
No.
No. Oh, you're talking about that 10,000 BC.
Yeah, it was like an alien at the end, right?
Babylon something.
The like Pharaoh was an alien.
Remember.
I think that's like what they're.
Watched it,
I feel like that's what they're all getting at. Is like all the pharaohs were aliens.
Well, you know those. If they were aliens, they weren't the cream of the crop.
No,
it was like just like we talked about. Like every culture's got their village.
That's your dude. That's your fucking day supervisor.
Yeah, that's the guy that's like, I'm nobody on the ship. I'm nobody back home.
They gave him the job.
God here.
He was like, it's better to rule in hell.
Yeah. Yeah, so that was like Philip.
Yeah, that was like, dude, totally fucking Philip.
He done wrecked 2 triangles.
Or that's
one right into the ocean.
Let's leave him here in the desert.
Maybe that was the thing. He's like, he wanted to recreate it, try to recreate.
He's trying to build his own ship to get out of here.
But he was like, "I'm not going to build a triangle. Fuck those guys.
I need a lot of those batteries.
I need a lot of those batteries."
Now, if they find a spot like a perfect square over in Egypt where one of them was, then I'd be like, okay, that was Philip.
Right.
Philip. It says Philip was here.
Right.
Philip.
You know what I mean?
So the other thing to think about too is
if
you have a ship that will take you across the galaxy, right? So let's play with this in our minds for a second, right? You've got a spaceship that will take you across the galaxy. What in the fuck would cause you to want to play with Duplo blocks in the fucking desert?
That's what I'm saying. That's why I can't get behind it. I'm like, why?
Yeah, that's another thing. Yeah, like all those. What were those? What do you call them? Duplo.
Yeah, like the big ass Legos.
Oh, no, I meant like what type of rock was that they used to build
sandstone?
The pyramid? Is sandstone?
I don't
It
know.
was limestone.
Limestone?
Yeah.
How
weren't they moved from like miles away to get there too?
Right.
Yeah, and that's where
That
if
sounds
you
like
wanted to-
something
if you
Philip
go back.
would do.
That's some shit.
So you think about there you go, right there.
Yeah.
Philip was an alien.
Yeah.
That was a total turd burglar back where he was from.
Turd burglar?
Right? Nobody liked him. Right? And he couldn't get over the fact, and he got dropped off here. They're like, he's done Crash 3 Triangle.
Yeah.
Let's just leave him in the fucking desert.
Yeah, fuck this guy.
So this guy's like,
Fucking
he's got a
Philip.
superiority complex because he's been
Yeah.
beat up his entire life where he's from. So he comes here and he's like, you know what? I'm a god here.
Yeah.
I'm going to make these idiots move these big ass rocks from here to here and then stack them.
Fucking Philip.
That's some like fucked up like terrible supervisor shit. You
Yeah.
know, I've worked for guys like that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have you move a stack of this to here,
Right.
and then the next day we move the stack back just because he
Right,
can make
yeah.
us do it.
No, yeah, I'm on board with this. I
Well,
think
what I'm saying is,
yeah.
like, if you said, like you say, if there's a square out there that where a pyramid
Yeah.
was there, and you said Philip was here, peace.
Yeah, I hope he crashed that son of a bitch too.
But what I'm saying is like, how would the like,
Oh,
how
dude.
would that would have lasted and like leaving the atmosphere?
That's what I'm saying. It didn't. It got up so far, the Baghdad batteries didn't hold enough charge. He fucking crashed it over in Mexico. Some Indians saw it and were like, whoa, dude, we gotta build that shit.
And that's why theirs are flat on top.
Theirs fucking got done like that. Like the other guys took them like 100 fucking years to build theirs, dude. The guys
Or
over
he-
in Mexico
like
built
he-
theirs in like probably a couple weekends.
about
Because
that.
they were like, the rocks are here. Let's
Think
use
about
these.
that
Yeah.
too. He imploded because he's trying to use these primitive batteries to
Yeah,
create a singularity, and it fucked up,
yeah.
and it just imploded on itself.
So there's another thing. Let's think about batteries for a second. And this is why the Baghdad battery is bullshit. And I'm in agreement with
Yeah,
you. It was some dude
I'm not on
dicking
board.
around with stuff and accidentally stumbled upon something that made him tingle when he touched it, right?
Yeah,
I grew up in the 80s just like you did with RC cars
yeah.
that you could charge up for 18 hours for
Yeah.
43 seconds of fun.
Yep, it was the best too.
And that was 1980s batteries.
Yeah,
All right?
right.
Let's go back 5,000 years to clay pot batteries.
Yeah, dude, I can't even get a lawnmower battery to last me 2 seasons.
Right.
You know what I mean? Just fucking Baghdad battery. I'm sorry. I've read that for years, and I've tried to never say anything about it because I'm like, dude, a lot of people got their hearts set on this one. I don't want to be the dickhead that comes along and says, dude, it's a bunch of bullshit. I don't believe it.
Now, if they would
I
have
think-
like lithium in those pots and they were like, 180 milliamp hour batteries or something, like,
Yeah.
I would be impressed.
Like there's straight up a
They're
spotlight
selling it on
attached to
the-
it.
Right. But
You
The
know,
Hallmark Channel.
You could literally
Yeah.
light a light bulb with a potato.
Yeah.
You know?
That's what I think, dude. They made a lot of shit out of copper. You know what I mean? They had the shit laying around. They made necklaces. He probably had some salt water or something in
What
a
if
jar.
it was a medical thing?
Well, I thought it was zinc that. What can actually create the char?
I mean,
Don't you need salt,
Salt and copper.
and copper?
And
That
some
would
sort of
create
alkaline.
a choke.
Some sort of alkaline.
salt water, dude. Fucking salt water, dude.
Salt
Think of that.
water
They had
and
oceans
copper?
on both sides of them.
The
So
Nile's,
salt water and copper would
the
create a
Nile's
charge.
salty, isn't it?
I don't know.
No, the Nile's not salty. I think some parts of it are, because doesn't it dump into the ocean?
I think so.
There's like the brackish water where it mixes.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, they had all the parts there.
I
They
don't know
just
cosmetology.
they just didn't. They just didn't know how. You know what I mean? It was probably like it made like a little spark, and it was like, oh my god, this guy's a fucking wizard.
Like I said, I bet they were using it for some sort of medical thing. Like it was some sort of holistic healing where they would touch the things
Yeah.
to somebody and make your muscles jump a little bit.
Yeah, like
It was like
having
witch,
fertility problems.
it was like witch doctor shit, is what I'm thinking.
You know, you just lay on the table and he just kind of
Like what? Your sack?
shocks your balls with the.
Like. No.
I'm just saying, we don't know. We weren't back then. They're building fucking pyramids for no reason, man. Come on.
Right.
I mean, I'm sure they had a reason. I just don't think it has to do with aliens.
Unless it was an alien.
Unless it was
So you
unless
don't,
it was
you
Philip.
don't think
Unless it was
anything
Philip. Yeah.
in this world aliens could have gave us, like to give us a little edge?
I think personally, this is all jokes aside,
Yeah.
everything. Okay, if I was the aliens, I wouldn't give us jack shit, and I mean that like in the highest respect of anything. I would not land and be like, here, take this and let it help you guys advance. I wouldn't do any of that. And it sounds shitty, but it's like, dude, it's like handing your 5-year-old $100 bill every week until he's 10 years old. You hand him $100 bill. And when he's 16 years old, you're like, you got to get a job. Your kid's a lazy piece of shit now because he's been handed a $100 bill every week for, the last like 10 years. Okay.
Well, that's every week, but if you give him $100, like, say for his birthday, every year.
Okay, I'll give you that. But I'm saying, like, why would you, as an alien, spoil rotten these things that you're hoping are going to make it? Because I seriously think that we're on the tail end.
But you
I
gotta
really
think,
think
like,
we're on the
okay,
tail end of a dying fucking universe.
I understand, like, let's put it this way. As a father and stuff, like, you've had experiences. Would you tell your children, okay, I did this. This is how it went.
I would not give my children a Baghdad battery.
Here's the thing, though. Is
But
we're
what I'm
assuming-
saying
I'd
is
be like,
that
no, you learn how to make it yourself.
But we're trying to coordinate the fatherhood versus conscientious observer.
I'm looking at it from the
But
point
yeah,
of view of
conscious
like,
reserve, like, you
when's
gotta
the
think,
last
like,
time you were walking along and saw an ant farm and you stopped and gave them a bunch of your candy?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, when have you done that? Like, have you ever like climbed up in a tree and like fed the baby bird something just to give them a little kickstart? We don't do that shit, right?
I'm just saying,
we
like,
don't even turn turtles over when we're filming National Geographic.
Oh, I do.
I
it.
will,
Oh,
yeah.
we would.
That's what I'm.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I know for a fact you had actually stopped us before
I have. Yeah,
in the middle of a fucking road, busy
I'll
road,
stop a semi on a 2-lane road.
and he would pick up a turtle
And I'll
to
pick
get it
Yeah.
to the other side.
Yeah, that's.
But that's what I'm saying is,
But that's.
are you
being-
saying that would be the same thing as helping them to another side?
No, it wouldn't, because Denny is not observing scientifically.
Yeah, I just like turtles.
But what, are you saying like there's not beings out there that like us?
I don't think
even
they do.
though,
No, I wouldn't.
Even though that, like, okay, there's like, okay,
We don't even like us.
Yeah, we don't even like
yeah,
each other.
I understand that, but I'm just saying there's things out there that are pure dicks.
You got to think too, though. For asking my opinion, I think that these are drones, so they have a
What?
clinical indifference to us.
That's true.
They're here
But
to
they're-
study, not help.
But they're being, if they're anything like you were saying, we were saying that they could be controlled.
Yeah,
Even then, it's still observing to see what
and
happens.
an advanced life form
And
would
death is
know
part of that.
that
But
the
another
worst
thing, too,
possible
is-
thing would be to hand us advanced technology.
But if you would think about that too, that's in a scientific area to give them
Okay.
something to.
Okay, so
No, hold on. Like to give them something to see where it leads them, to see if they would use it in the right way.
would you hand a chimpanzee a loaded AK-47?
Oh shit! Are we talking the
No.
lion killers?
Exactly.
Okay, but that's higher technology. If you would say, like you were saying, but would you hand a chimpanzee a spear?
Hell no.
Fuck no.
You wouldn't.
I wouldn't even give him a toothpick.
I wouldn't give him shit.
No.
Be like, dude, you're a dangerous motherfucker. You got claws and fangs and shit.
We're not
You'll be
going to give
all
you
right.
weapons. Yeah, so, like, I wouldn't give...
I might buy him like a Game Boy. Like, here, man, calm your ass down. a
I
little.
feel like that's where we're going. I feel like if any technology has been given to us, entertainment has.
Well, I'm just saying, like, if it's an advanced civilization, and they're, like you said, they're way ahead of us, way at the end of the galaxy, however millions of years ahead of us, they would know better than to interfere with our natural progression.
Or
Right.
another thing too is, okay, what if that person was a morbid person? They would give the AK to a chimpanzee.
Like, if they were like, a malevolent.
Yeah, they just
Alien?
want to see what would happen. Like what
See,
would happen
I'm at a point where I think anything malevolent
if they
is
were
gonna
going to do.
it's gonna destroy itself long before it gets a chance to do that.
Yeah.
It's like us. Like we are not in a collective mind state to go out in the galaxy and observe life forms.
I mean, yeah, we've said this before. Terrorists fly planes. Scientists fly space shuttles. Like, statistically speaking, the evil doesn't get as far as the good does.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
we're not there yet. We're not far enough along where we are like mature enough as a species to go out into the universe and start ruining other shit's lives.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like if we went right now to a planet, like Elon Musk built this ship and he's piled a bunch of us on. We're gonna go and we're gonna check out this planet. There's all these little life forms on it. We're gonna go check them out. We would have that place trashed in like a year.
Well, okay.
You know what I mean? Like there'd be garbage everywhere,
Another
dude.
thing too is
pollution.
What about trade? Every type of civilization would establish type of trade.
I really feel
even
like,
though that these beings might be more more advanced than us.
Yeah.
But we could offer them something that they don't have.
Yeah.
If they got here, I doubt that.
No, I mean, if they're escaping something from somewhere else, this is an oasis to somebody. Like if no one knows where it is, no one knows where you're going or anything, if something comes here and uses this as a oasis,
they might. I mean, who knows?
We could
probabilities.
They trade technology for that. I can see that. I don't think. Okay, let me put it this way. I could say that now because I feel like we could use we can kind of give some type of dialogue with a being of that advanced. I'm not saying that we're probably that advanced, but back then, we didn't know our asshole from our elbow, let alone being very diplomatic.
My thought's kind of like in probabilities. If it has to use this place as a refuge for a while, they're probably not very far ahead of us at all. So there might be trade, but would we even trust it? How would it present itself to us? Yeah. But I'm kind of at the point where I'm like, I really do feel like we're on the tail end of a dying universe. Like we're latecomers, and somebody's studying us to see if we make it. Because if you're gonna trade with somebody, like you said, you got to have something really valuable, and I don't think that we have anything that they really need. It's already out there, and probably a lot less resistance to get it. You know what I mean? But if we have some of their ships, I'm not saying that we haven't chipped away and learned some stuff along the way. You know, got in there with our fucking pickaxe and beat on the ship until we opened it. You know what I mean?
No matter what, I don't feel like... I feel like if we are at that tail end of the dying universe, I think we might be... I think our species will live on. I feel like they would take something of us,
maybe
somewhere else.
I don't think they'd take us three.
No, not us three.
I just want to, like I said, when I die, burn my body and cast my ashes to a strong east wind. I don't fucking care.
Probably be Philip. You show up, be like, all right, I'm gonna take some of you, but not you guys.
Yeah.
You guys made fun of my pyramid ship. He's still flying it. It's falling apart. I don't care, Philip. Your ship sucks.
Well, we don't want to be on your ship anyway.
Yeah, it sucks. Look at it. It's falling apart. Your batteries suck.
You need to change your oil.
Yeah. Your Baghdad batteries are garbage. I hate them. Fuck you, Philip.
But yeah, I that's all. Like I think that there could be something here, like you were saying, they could have found ships. I feel like maybe it wasn't trade, or maybe they didn't give it to us.
Yeah.
But could we have found something? Do you think that some of the technology could have came to us because of alien technology?
I personally don't believe it.
You don't think anything we have?
No, I don't think so. I feel like it's just too
So
primitive.
if we actually had ships that we don't know about, but
yeah. I
think
we do have some of the ships, and we're still working on them.
we just haven't got to that point where we could actually use the technology.
Yeah, like it's so beyond us, and there's like according to Bob Lazar, there's elements at work in these things that we don't even have here. So it's
And
like
that's
we don't
another
even
thing.
have a basis to go off of. Like, how does this even work?
I was about to say another thing too is like that could be something that we could offer elements here, but if they can fly across galaxies and stuff like that, they can go find it themselves. Yeah. They can take it themselves. They don't need our permission to do it. But
right.
So I guess that unless it's to live in peace and have this as an oasis or a refugee, am I saying that right? Refugee?
I think it's a reservation.
A reservation or something?
Or is it a preserve?
Preserve.
I think it's a preserve. So, they're watching it. That's why they keep stopping the nukes from going off. Oh. You know what I mean? They kind of zoom in every now and again and you guys don't need that. It's like running in when your kid's about to jump off of the counter. Hey, let's just not do that. All right, go back to your cartoons, you shithead.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I don't know. I think that our technology grew as it should. It seems like it flew.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of that has to do with measurement.
I just feel like right now, I don't even think we're inventing anything new anymore. I think we're just
rehashing.
We are. We just made spiders, zombie.
No,
spiders.
what I'm just saying is that we're perfecting new, we're rethinking old stuff.
Right. That's what I was saying with measurement. Our society is dependent on measurement.
Yeah.
The more accurate we can measure and the smaller amounts we can measure, the better things we can produce. Look at vehicles. You're talking back when they started making internal combustion engines, they had rope gaskets, and you had to run crude oil to keep the tolerances so it had some slop in place so the metal parts wouldn't beat themselves to death.
Right.
And now we're measuring things in microns, and we've got vehicles that'll do 500,000 miles on a single engine build.
Yeah.
Everything we do is dependent on measurements. The more accurate we are with measuring, the better the product is.
Right.
Firearms, weapons, computers, all of that stuff is dependent on it. And the better we got at making the tools to measure with is what made everything grow exponentially. And I think that's why it seems like all of it just kind of went, horse buggies, poof, tanks.
But not the metric system, though.
Right.
No metric system. No.
Anything besides that.
Yeah. Mm-mm.
I'm not relearning all that.
No. I think that that black triangle ship is at least 3 pyramids big.
I would say it's probably at least one blue whale in a school bus.
Yeah, dude. You know what? You're right. I definitely agree with that.
I dare you to come 3 pyramids. Triangle ships.
Hey, Philip, I dare you to bring that shit within 3 pyramids of us.
Right.
He's like, God damn, these guys hate the metric system.
But yeah, I guess that's all I had to say about that.
But and nowadays, I feel like any of our innovation, our technology growth, is more for manufacturing, going further, making more things automated for to take out. I hate to say it, but take out the workforce. I know we touched base on the whole the robot burger flipper at McDonald's now.
Right.
I get where you're coming from when that teenager that doesn't want to flip burgers for whatever minimum wage.
I still stand behind what I said before about that. We don't need a burger flipper. We need you to fix the fucking ice cream machine. The ice cream machine is broken. Let's fix it.
I think that's the only way that's going to be fixed if we get alien technology into it.
Unless you get a genius kid in there who rewires that burger flipper to flip ice cream. That actually
makes ice cream?
Yeah. It's got to make hand. Ice cream and
oh, that's another thing too is could you get behind something? Okay. We pride ourselves especially on Etsy.
Yeah.
Handmade.
Right.
Buy this because it's handmade.
Yeah.
But what if they start making robots that hand make things.
Like it actually has hands?
It has hands and it does every motion, but it's precise, like it's calculated. So could they call it handmade?
I work in the construction industry, and I can tell you that that's exactly how that works. Everybody in construction is automated. They're on autopilot 8 hours a day.
Yeah.
And they're just building.
Mm-hmm. I had a bunch of thoughts
robots.
about the machine with hands, and there's nothing about it that I could say on the show.
I mean, let's be honest here.
You know?
Let's be honest here. Rule 34. You know?
Yeah.
And not only that, you're absolutely right. Is anything we come up with innovation, if it's something with hands, it's going to end up on Pornhub.
Yeah, I mean
that's true.
It's not going to be good.
No,
it's going to start with good intentions.
And everything starts with good intentions,
and
but
then it ends up on Pornhub.
Hey, look at think about that for a second. Like, are we ready to start trading with an alien race? Right? We learned how to split an atom. The amount of energy potential right there in the palm of our hands, and the first thing we do. Let's build a bomb.
Yeah.
Dude, this is going to be an awesome bomb. What? Why? We could power like the entire continent with this. No. Shut up. Shut your mouth. Big ass bomb.
We'll blow up half of it.
We're going to blow up a bunch of shit with this, I promise. But that doesn't sound like a good idea. That's a lot of destruction. Yeah, it's going to be gnarly. What?
Yeah.
Why?
I mean,
I feel like that's in our nature. We like
that's
to
what I'm
have
saying. Yeah, we want to have the big stick.
It's not even the big stick anymore. It's just like because you always want that big show at
nuclear bomb
in the back of your yard. Like think about all the freaking rednecks. Like, oh yeah, I'm gonna just go blow up some shit out in my backyard. Like
that's why I think they're drones. Just watching, they're not gonna give a shit. They're gonna be like, dude, we have this technology, these laser. We could give them these lasers. They could probably use these to, stop asteroids from destroying their planet. And then Philip's like, wait, hold on. Did you guys see what they did with the atom thing? Oh yeah, that's right. They immediately built bombs with it. Come on, let's wait a few hundred years.
I mean, we are also the society that decided the athletic cup came before the helmet.
Yeah.
The athletic cup was out 50 years before the helmet was.
Priorities.
And then it took us after the space shuttle launch to decide to put wheels on luggage.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like we're
some aliens watching this. Like,
we're smart for us.
Philip's probably our fault.
Probably.
He's been fucking watching this whole time in his space station somewhere under the ocean, and he's probably just like, oh Jesus Christ. What the fuck are these dudes doing? And he's calling back to his manager back in planet fucking Zulatron. He's like, hey, is my shift almost up? Because, dude, it's been forever. And he's like, nah, you got a little bit longer, man. Just right. Keep watching him. You'll be all right.
He's over there, and he's like, what's really weird about these damn creatures is the ones that don't have any money live outside. But the ones that have a lot of money spend it to live outside. It don't make any sense.
Right.
Try explaining.
They don't even know which bathroom to go in. Too far, probably. Yeah. There's going to be all kinds of trigger alerts on that one.
We're going to get demonetized.
Yeah. This is like 2 hours.
Yeah.
This is like 2 hours.
But yeah,
aliens are probably...
He's Tyler's birthday points. He's just firing them off, isn't he?
Yeah.
Well, no, I kind of wanted to, since it was 2 hours long, I just wanted to throw this out there because I want the listeners to I wanted to throw them out there. Do you guys think that any technology that we have could have been alien technology before?
Toilet seats.
Toilet seats.
You ever used an outhouse?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean like an old outhouse, like on a farm.
Oh, no.
Like an old wooden one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's a hole.
It's a hole.
It's a hole in wood.
Yeah.
It's not comfy.
Right.
Yeah,
aliens came and they were like, hey man, look.
Put a seat.
Put that on there. It's cushy. Mm-hmm. You might stick to it a little bit in the summer.
Right.
But yeah, I wanted to see what you guys out there think. God dang, that toilet seat got me.
I probably
all
stole some.
confungled.
I bet somebody was about to type in a comment, and they were going to say that, and I just ruined it. They were like, "Damn it, he beat me."
I don't know. If you think it is out there, please tell us what it is. But
Yeah,
to me, I don't think we have anything that's so spectacular that works so fantastic that could have came light years to get here. I mean, Sam spent like 6 hours trying to get a cell phone turned on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
well,
computers crash.
Yeah.
You know?
Hey, we lost a second. Did you guys hear about that?
What?
The Earth sped up, so our 24-hour period is 1 second less than it used to be. So all of the computers are going to start fucking up just because of that.
Nice.
Yep.
Well, before we get back into this, let's end this.
Yep.
Well,
happy birthday, Tyler.
Oh, thank you.
Happy birthday, buddy.
Thank you all. If you guys
show him some love, guys.
Yep.
Put it in the comments.
If you made it this far.
Yeah.
In the show. If
I just want you guys to.
Good for you.
Are we going to split this one up into two, or is this going to be one gigantic
birthday episode? Just give him a birthday bonanza episode.
Tyler's 2-hour birthday bonanza.
I just like that we're using bonanza.
Me too.
Okay.
I missed that restaurant.
Oh, it was so good.
God, that was great.
Join the campfire, guys. We love you.
This is like the marinara all over again.
Bonanza really was good.
Exactly. And the show was
Ponderosa. Remember Ponderosa?
Yeah. They're going to continue talking. Bye, guys. Mwah!
There's an owl out there hanging around, and it's pulled my number for sure. I can't remember if I said any last words, because the day before was a blur. They buried the old man about a week ago, and I wouldn't shed a tear if I could. Now we didn't see eye to eye, you see, until he closed his eyes for good. Thing follows you, my son. You'll live 100 nights searching for hell, and all of your days by the gun. Beware the good times in your life. They just hide the bad for a while. That feeling you hide behind the tears and the